Assalamualaikum and very good morning. I'm Aman bin Mawari and this is our assignment SDLC, and this is our group member Muhammad Haziq, Din Afandi, and lastly is Nora Natasha binti Muhammad Asruddin. So next slide is predictive versus adaptive. So the difference between predictive and adaptive is non-projects can usually rely upon a predictive method of planning. Predictive planning provides a linear, specific development plan structured around producing predetermined end result within a specific time frame. The outputs from predictive planning are expected and knowable. For the adaptive part is evolving projects that face changing conditions are best suited for adaptive planning. Adaptive planning involves breaking a project into small components over an undetermined timeline to allow ultimate flexibility in directing the course of the project. The challenge associated with adaptive planning is to remain flexible and open to change while not becoming irresolute. So next is our project. The project is travel planning app. So the app is named Man Kalsha Travel Planning Application. Man Kalsha application is a little different. Instead of helping you organize your trip or helping you find the best prices and options for your trip, it helps you build a wish list of destination where you would like to travel. Next, it doesn't have to be as fancy as a once-in-a-lifetime trip. Either the app is great for planning your annual family vacation, or if you want to just take a few day trip or that. Okay, that's all. So up next is my partner, Nora Natasha.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Natasha binti Muhammad Asruddin. I will be continuing the slide from Ayman. So for our project, we chose waterfall model, which is predictive approach. So the waterfall approach to project management is a useful approach when the variables and outcomes of a project are known. In the waterfall method, a single episode of directive discussion is followed by a lengthy production or development period, ending in the delivery of the resulting project. So the steps of waterfall method include discussion of project concept and direction, analysis of project or design, project development process, project evaluation, and project delivery. So this is how the waterfall model looks like: system engineering, analysis, design, code, testing, and maintenance. Moving on to next is where the implementation of waterfall methodology. So we have phase and project explanation. The first one is requirement. So requirement is where you brainstorm for the trip planning application, observing the previous project and also current project for the trip planning application. Discussion is made to make sure the features of the application meet the requirement from user. All the requirement collected is analyzed and documented in a requirement specification document. So for the second is design. After the requirements are met, the system design will be started. All the use case diagram, UML diagram, class diagram, and activity diagram of the Man Kalsha trip planning application is being drawn and designed. And the database of the application is also being designed as well. Thank you, that's all from me.
Hi, good morning. My name is Muhammad Haziq. I'll be continuing the presentation from my friend just now, Nur Alia. So moving forward, implementation. In this phase, the application is being developed after the design and databases are approved. In the testing phase, the application is then tested by selected users, stakeholders, and anyone who are involved to check any errors or failures. After the testing phase, we'll move on to deployment. In this phase, the application is then released in the market after all the functionality and non-functionality has been tested. And finally, to maintenance. If there's any additional features, bug issues, security issues, there will be patches released for the application. Any changes, changes requested by the customer is then later updated. Okay, finally, the project management process group versus the waterfall model. So what we have analyzed is that the project management group is divided into 5 phases as well as the waterfall model. The project management process group has the initiating processes, planning processes, executing processes, monitoring and controlling processes, and closing processes. While the waterfall model has the requirement, design, implementation, testing and maintenance, and deployment. So the similarity is between those two are for requirement and initiating processes. the project is initiated by eliciting requirement from the identified stakeholders. For the planning processes and design, the plan and design the project schedule, budget, UML diagram, databases design and user interface. For the executing process and the implementation, the project has started to develop. For the monitoring and controlling processes and the testing and maintenance, it is to control the process same as the testing process. It is also monitoring processes same as the maintenance. For the final one, the closing process versus the deployment one, it involves gaining stakeholders and customers' acceptance of the final products and services. So that's all from us. Thank you. I hope you like it.